Hello. Hope everyone's doing well. Figured I would jump on and film another update. If you are just watching this, I am Rebecca, and I am currently being treated for breast cancer, and I'm using this YouTube channel as a way to kind of keep everyone updated. I have plenty of other videos about how I've gotten to where I am right now. So I encourage you to subscribe and watch some of those. So for purposes of this video, I wanted to kind of give an update on the last week or so of my life. If you've been following along, I just finished my neoadjuvant chemotherapy, which was 6 rounds of the TCHP regimen, and I have done that because I am HER2 positive, and that's the standard chemo that you get before surgery, and it is cumulative, so every round is harder and harder. So I just finished that every 21 days for 6 rounds, and true to its word, it was harder every time, and this last round was awful. It was really, really terrible, and there's no way to sugarcoat it. So, if you are going through this and you want to know what to expect, I mean, I'm being honest, it was really awful, and it is still kind of awful. And that's just the long and short of it. One of the things that I've kind of been saying all along and planning, as well as that I could have, is, you go through the 6 rounds and then you have surgery, and then I'll still have radiation and targeted therapy. But this whole time I've been trying to plan around surgeries and who was going to do the surgery, and so there's lots of that stuff in previous videos. But the way that it all kind of played out was that I am scheduled to have surgery this Thursday. So I had my last chemo on June 11th, and my surgery is scheduled for June 27th, which is Thursday, which is a very, very quick turnaround from your last chemo to surgery. And the reason why we did that is because the surgeons that I have selected to do my surgery, that's when they were available. And if I didn't do it that way, then the surgeons that I want to use were not going to be able to do my surgery until the end of July, and that is too long of a time to wait, according to my oncologist, and really according to me, because one of my personal anxieties is not having the surgery and not removing the offenders from my body. And I know that may not make sense to people, and hopefully the cancer has killed, or the chemo has killed all the cancer, and it it wouldn't really matter. But in my mind and like in my psyche, I feel like I just want where the cancer is removed from my body. And it was hard to not just have surgery right away, but that's not the way that they treat this type of, the HER2 positive. They don't do surgery first. And it just makes me very anxious. And I get the science of it, and I get the doctors what they say, but It's just how I feel. And I mean, I don't know if you feel that way, if you're going through this, but I just want it out, and I don't want to wait any longer. You know, if there's any stray cells, I want to make sure that they're gone and dead and buried. And so anyways, it makes me feel better to just have the surgery. So, that's why we scheduled the surgery so quickly. And at first I thought that it was too quick as well. And, you know, when I expressed those concerns to the breast surgeon and to my oncologist, you know, they were very much like, no, it's totally okay. It's not too soon. You'll be fine. And so I kind of operated under that assumption. However, what has happened since my last chemo, has made me, you know, it has been tough, because this last chemo has really kicked my butt, and I have been very, very sick. And I am kind of doing this update right now because I made a Facebook post, a social media post yesterday, and I kind of want to talk about it a little bit for a couple of reasons. But so we are now on the week of chemo, or not chemo, the week of surgery. So I've had basically 2 weeks since my last chemo, of trying to recover. And we preemptively, going into this, knew that, you know, my 5th round was really hard, and this round was likely going to be harder. So I scheduled fluids like pretty much every day from when I had my last chemo. I've had fluids so many times, and like the nausea medicine and Pepsid and all of the things that they can put in IVs to make me feel better. So I've been going to fluids, and last week I was going to fluids like every day, and they were giving me, you know, things to make me feel better. The problem last week that I was having was, you know, and the problem that I've really had up until today, is like, I haven't been able to eat. I mean, at all. Like, I haven't been able to eat, I haven't been able to drink, but I've been getting fluid, so it's not like I've been dehydrated necessarily. But I haven't been able to eat food, and I've been very, very weak. My mouth is like, I don't have like the taste. I don't really know how to describe it, because you would just think you could just like power through it, but like I can't power through it. I just can't eat food at all. And I've been exhausted. The neuropathy in my hands and kind of in my legs and feet, like my hands will like curl up, and I have to like pry my fingers open. My arms feel very tingly. My legs feel very tingly. The neuropathy has been really bad. When I've gone in to get fluids, my blood pressure has been low every time. My heart rate's gone up several times, but my blood pressure has been low every single time that I've gone in. And so we were really trying to get that under control. They were giving me steroids via IV to try to give me energy. And so like, that's kind of how we handled last week. Well, when the pre-op folks from the hospital called, one of the things that they said to me was that, I needed to have fresh labs. And typically I get labs done like the week after chemo, like on a Thursday. I meet with my oncologist. But because of the way that like vacations fell with my doctors, and then my surgery coming this week, I didn't have labs last week. So this week on Monday, I had labs done. Well, I get labs done, and my nurse comes over to me very concerned and was like, look, we just did your labs and we have a problem. Like, your magnesium and your potassium are extremely low, and your platelets have plummeted. So like, your platelets are supposed to be between like 142 to 400 or something thousand, whatever science, language that is. And mine were like 52. and that's a problem. So, I mean, and so yesterday when she was telling me that, she's like, look, you might not be able to have surgery because your platelets are dangerously low, and the problem with that is you need your platelets to be high because they help you clot, and you're about to have surgery, and they're not going to operate on you if you can't clot. And so and I mean, I flipped out because I did, what do you mean? All this time I've had everything has been fine, and now all of a sudden all of my numbers are tanking and I'm not gonna be able to have surgery? Like, that's why I'm not gonna be able to have surgery? So yesterday was a very scary day for me. It was a very long day, a very emotional day. It's like I've gotten this far and I feel like things keep, coming up, and I've talked about this before, like the hardest part about having cancer and planning all of this stuff is like the lack of control. And, I have a type A personality, and I have tried so hard to plan, and it keeps going sideways. And this was like a big deal because, I have 3 kids, and it's summertime, and I have a job and FMLA, and I've tried so hard to plan this surgery where everybody that helps me can help, and I'm not inconveniencing everyone, and I'm making it, less scary for my kids. And, it was just a very raw, emotional afternoon yesterday. And I felt like like everything was spiraling. And, so I put that on Facebook. I didn't film a video. I usually give updates on videos because it's just easier to talk it out. But I asked for a prayer request. And, one of the things that people say sometimes, like when you ask for prayers on social media, it's like, are you being sincere? Do people really pray for you? Are you, I don't know. I mean, you just, I don't know. I don't know how people take that, or if somebody's saying they're praying for you, like, do they know, like, if it's being received or not? And this may sound really silly to you if you're watching this. I don't know. But what I will say is that on that post, I had, hundreds of people like it and comment and say prayers and specific prayers, and post videos of music and praise songs, and specifically pray for my magnesium and potassium and platelets to go up, and that my surgery wouldn't be canceled, and that I had peace, and that all of that. And what I want to say towards that is, I didn't like every single comment, and I didn't comment on it necessarily because yesterday I wasn't really feeling that great. And it was, like when I say like I'm not feeling good, like I'm saying like I am trying not to throw up and everything. I can't keep anything in, and I have zero energy, and I really don't feel good. And then yesterday my mental health kind of took like a major dip because I was scared and sad and frustrated. And what I will say is that all of these people that prayed for me and that reached out, or even didn't even comment, like they would send me a text or a message or whatever, I read every single one of them. And like as I was reading them, and as I was getting through the afternoon and getting through last night, where I really was not sleeping very well, and I was very unsettled, and scared and frustrated and all of those things, it really brought me peace. Because this morning, like, I woke up and I was in a better mental space, and I was like ready to tackle this morning. Like when I went in, like my dad, who has been taking me to all of these infusion things this last couple of weeks, and like making sure this morning I got there so because I had another appointment today that I'll talk about in a second. Like I needed to get there really early this morning to make sure I was like the first person to get labs, and I had to have infusions before another appointment. And we got there this morning, and also like they were giving me like this potassium drink that I had to take, and these magnesium pills, and all of these things that were trying to boost all of my numbers. And I was able to do that this morning, and I was in a better place mentally than I was yesterday. And that is so important. But a lot of that, and I would say all of it, was because it was like I was being wrapped in prayer by all of my people, and people that I don't even know, that knew how important this was to me. And I felt that. And that's why, God is like so great, and faith is so great, and people that support you in that and believe, and they just wrap that love around you. That's how you get through things like this. I mean, because that great physician is there, and he is using all of you to help. And that is the medicine. That is the medicine that gets you through. And, I'm not trying to sound preachy or anything like that, but I mean, gosh, God is so good. And all of y'all are so good to remind me when I have moments of weakness. And I hope that, I can do the same for those that need that, because you need it. You need it. And right now I need it. This is like very scary. Like everything is, you have these real moments in a cancer battle, like when you first get diagnosed, and when you're trying to figure out a plan, and when you first start chemo, and every step, there's so many steps to all of this. And now I've just completed one, and I'm getting ready to have like a really major surgery. And there's so many like things that go with that, right? Like emotions that go with that I haven't even really let myself process, that I need to do. And it might be delayed. I mean, because of all of this going on, but it's just scary. And then when this is done, healing, and then radiation, and then targeted therapy, there's just so, it's a scary time. And sometimes you need your people to kind of keep you in line, and you need God to, and he's always there to kind of make sure, like, hey, I'm right here. Don't worry. Don't, give me your worries. I can handle this for you. I am the reason why. I am the reason why you can get through this. Lean into me and have faith, and don't worry. And I appreciate all of you that keep me on track. So thank you for that. What I will say is that today I went in, and my magnesium levels had gone up. My potassium is going up. My platelets are not going down, and that's good. Yesterday they were at 52. Today they were at 55, which is still low. But it is, they have not, called surgery yet. So I'm operating like it is still going on. I am going back in the morning and having it checked again, and then more infusions. And I believe that everything, as long as it stays on track, should be good. And I should be good for surgery on Thursday. So that is reassuring. The other procedure that I was having today, and, I had no idea if all of this was going to affect that today or not, but it didn't, was that, and I may have talked about this before, but the way it was explained to me was that I was having a smart clip inserted into where my lymph nodes had lit up positive. So when I had my biopsy, when I got diagnosed, way back when, they put clips in the lymph node, we can't really, that's a whole other story, that tested positive. And so they have smart clips that have like radioactive devices in them, I guess, that they put on the lymph nodes that tested positive, like after the fact, like before you go into surgery, so that when you go into surgery, they can light up these smart clips, and they'll know which lymph nodes tested positive. Well, so I go in to do that today, and the radiologist explains to me that, first of all, the hospital system that I used, that I got my biopsy, the original biopsies, all of them, I'm not having surgery there. The hospital I'm going to, that radiologist said that the clips that they use are smaller than the ones that this hospital uses. They're different. Sometimes they're hard to find, especially when you have chemo, neoadjuvant chemo, because that chemo shrinks the cancer, right? So the lymph nodes, when you first get diagnosed, they're like big and swollen, right? So it's easy to find them. That's how they know that you have cancer, or to test them. Well, I guess, the chemo will shrink them when it kills the cancer. So he told me before we even did the ultrasound to try to put the smart clips in, there's a chance that I can't find the clips, because if the chemo has worked and your cancer has shrunk, or if it's gone, it's going to be hard to identify those lymph nodes. And when the lymph nodes shrink, sometimes we can't find the clips. So what ended up happening was they were looking for my lymph nodes, and they couldn't find them because the lymph nodes have shrunk. He could see healthy lymph nodes, but he couldn't find the lymph nodes that had the clip in it. So he explained to me that that's not a bad thing, that when I go into surgery, that they will find it, that they have x-ray machines, and that they'll remove the lymph nodes, and they'll be able to tell the lymph node that had the lymph node, or lymph nodes that have the clips in it. And so they'll remove that, because they want to remove the lymph nodes that originally tested positive for cancer. So I'm a little bit nervous about the fact that they couldn't find it, but he, assured me that was not something to be, that they will find it, that they will get that lymph node, and that likely that this is a good thing, because it means that I've had a really good response to the chemo, and that the cancer is no longer in my lymph nodes, and that they'll remove lymph nodes where it tested positive from the biopsy, and they'll have clean margins and all of that. So he's telling me that that's a good thing. So, I'm trying to remain positive. There's a part of my brain that's a little bit concerned about it, but hopefully when we have surgery and the doctor comes back, everything will be fine. So they weren't able to put in clips today. So we'll see how that goes on Thursday. So tomorrow, so that's pretty much how this week has gone. Today I was able to eat some food. Last night I ate some food. I had some sushi last night, which I know sounds like really weird. And this morning, I've eaten some food today. I feel my stomach feels very unsettled. Food still does not taste right to me, but I have been able to eat. That's given me some more energy. One of the things I've noticed today is I feel like I'm flashing. I feel like I don't know if I'm having hot flashes or what, but my face has gotten really red, or I've gotten really hot on and off. Going right into surgery, that makes you a little nervous. I don't need anything. I don't need a fever. I don't need any of the things. So hopefully everything is fine, and I'm just being paranoid. I'm really trying to power through this video because I don't feel so great, but I wanted to give an update on how this week has gone, and how this last round of chemo has been tough, and getting ready for surgery has been tough. A lot tougher than I thought it would be. I will be staying with my parents for about a week or so, because my kids are young, and Henry, my little one, is 16 months old, and likes to be on your lap and be held, and that's going to be hard for a little while. So at least right after surgery, I'll stay with my parents so that they can kind of help out, and my husband, pray for him because he's going to have all three of the kids, and they'll be over. My parents live like, down the road from me, so it's not like a big deal. We'll see them for sure, like every day, but we're just trying to figure out how all of this will go. Hopefully surgery won't be too crazy. I'll spend one night, and I'm hoping that I'll heal quickly. I'm a mom, that's what we have to do, and I'm praying that everything goes well and they get all the cancer out, and I don't have to do another chemo regimen, because I'm going to tell you what, this chemo is no joke, and I don't want to do it again. I don't think anybody ever wants to do chemo, but it has about broken me, and the reason it hasn't is because of prayer and good people and friends and God first, and but I'm really hoping that the power of that medicine has killed all those cancer cells, because it's no joke. I've said that 100 times, I think. So yeah, this is probably the last update I'll do before surgery, and hopefully, after surgery, I'll be able to kind of give an update on how I'm feeling. It might be a day or so, but if you're going through this, man, I'm praying for you too. If you know someone that is, it's tough, and it's sometimes being positive all the time, that's not a reality, but and everybody tells you you're going to get through it and it's going to be over, and that's probably true, and I'm kind of starting to see that light right now, but I'll be honest, like it's been really hard to see that light during all of this, because it's gone longer and longer every time, and it really makes you feel like, you're just being poisoned, and you feel that poison like running through your veins, and it's tough, and you know what you're supposed to do to feel better, but you just can't do it. And sometimes when everybody's telling you like you can do this and you can, it'll get better, or here's all the suggestions on what you should eat or what you should do, that doesn't necessarily make you feel better in the moment. Sometimes it makes you feel worse. Not intentionally, they don't want you to feel worse, but when you feel so bad, it doesn't help. And so I'm just saying, like, solidarity, I get it. I know it doesn't make you feel better all the time. And, when you're in the moment, like, you just, I just want to curl up and cry. And sometimes you do, or I have. I've shed so many tears during all of this. It's embarrassing, but, sometimes you just gotta let it out. And, and then you have days like today where you start to see the light, and you have a little bit of a better attitude, and that's what I'm trying to do, because honestly, I need to start feeling a little bit better. I need to have a little bit of a better attitude, because I'm terrified about Thursday and how that's going to go. It's kind of like I'm in denial. Like, I'm going through the motions. I know that I'm about to have major surgery that's going to change like everything about me. Maybe not everything, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to change what I, like, me. And, so I just haven't really let myself go down that road really yet. And, yeah, so I'm probably not going to do that right now either. But anyways, so that's my update, and my nice little bald head that's got some hair growing a little bit. Kind of see that right now. But anyways, all right. Well, I hope everyone is doing well, and thanks for following along. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, and when I get out of surgery, hopefully you'll get a notification for my next video. And thanks for all your prayers and everything that everyone's doing. Everybody's been so great, and my family really appreciates it. And we love all of you. And so, all right. Until the next time, y'all have a good one.